All right, so this has been going absolutely viral, as you can see from the view count on this post. Anthropic just introduced something called Cowork, Claude code for the rest of your work. And this is one of those moments where people suddenly realize AI isn't just answering questions anymore. It's starting to actually do the work. Let's get into it. All right, so what exactly is Cowork? Cowork is essentially Claude code, but stripped of anything that feels technical and pointed directly at everyday knowledge work. In Cowork, you give Claude access to real folders on your computer. It can read them, edit them, and even create new files inside those folders. And instead of just responding to a prompt, you give it a task, like summarize all my meetings and pull out action items. And Claude doesn't just answer, it plans the work and then executes it. It also loops you in along the way and will ask for confirmation before taking any significant actions. Now, since Claude already has access to a ton of third-party connectors, this makes Cowork even more powerful and way more personally useful. It's not just working with your local files anymore. It can pull in information from the apps and services you already use with your own context and data, and then use all of that together to actually complete the task end to end. And you can even pair Cowork with Claude in Chrome for tasks that need browser access. So you guys are probably wondering, how can I use this? Well, unfortunately, it's only available as a research preview right now for Claude Mac subscribers, and only on Mac OS, not Windows. So the majority of us won't have access to this just yet. But I'm sure this will inevitably be rolled out to the lower tiers, as long as nothing major goes wrong. Now, the craziest part about this release though, and I think a big part of the reason it's actually getting so much attention, is what one Anthropic researcher said about it in a live stream. Check this out.
A member of the team from Anthropic here on the stream. Felix, welcome.
Hi friends, how are y'all?
Hey.
Good, how are you? We've never met before. Tell me about you. What do you like? What do you do at Anthropic? How are you involved in this?
How am I involved in this? I've been at Anthropic for a little bit, but this is the product that my team has built here. We've sprinted at this for the last week and a half. What we're trying
the last week and a half?
That's it? Come on.
To be clear, I think many people have had the idea that something like Claude Code for non-coding work would be helpful and useful to people. And fundamentally, what we want to do here is we do want to help people out with their work, like whether that's a personal thing or a corporate thing. And we've had a different number of prototypes, in particular before Christmas. But I think over the holidays, one thing we have seen, I'm sure many people have seen this, is that an increasing number of people is using Claude Code for almost anything, just like we are, right? We're sort of like automating our entire lives with Claude Code. So we were thinking, what is a small early thing that we can try out and ship to people and iterate with them together to really figure out what is the right user experience, what is the right thing we aim to build. And this is it. This is the sort of like research preview, very early alpha, a lot of rough edges, as you've already seen, right? There's a lot of things about it that I think we're going to improve very quickly. Mm-hmm. But this is our attempt to build in the open and work together with people out there.
So yeah, as he said, they've had some prototypes of this non-technical Claude Code version since before Christmas, but in the last week and a half or so, they managed to produce Cowork. But here's where it gets even crazier. Another Anthropic employee is now claiming that all of it was written by Claude Code. That's right, all of Cowork, the non-technical version of Claude Code, was essentially written by Claude Code itself, obviously with the direction of Anthropic researchers. So that is kind of insane. Again, he emphasizes that it was not zero intervention. They had to plan, design, and go back and forth with Claude Code. But Claude Code did write all the code. Basically, the Anthropic researchers are now using their own product to vibe code other products. That is the world of frontier software engineering. And this researcher in particular actually had another viral tweet from a few weeks ago that you may have already seen. He basically admitted that all the code he writes now is written by Claude Code. He writes, "A year ago, Claude struggled to generate bash commands without escaping issues. It worked for seconds or minutes at a time. We saw early signs that it may become broadly useful for coding one day. Fast forward to today, In the last 30 days, I landed 259 PRs, 497 commits, 40K lines added, 38K lines removed. Every single line was written by Claude Code plus Opus 4.5. Claude consistently runs for minutes, hours, and days at a time using stop hooks. Software engineering is changing, and we are entering a new period in coding history, and we're still just getting started. So yeah, I don't know what it is about Claude Code. I'm not a developer myself. I know nothing about software engineering, so I can't really confirm or deny these insane claims we've been hearing about. But it truly seems like Claude Code is different. It seems to be a leap beyond anything else. I mean, there was even this post I covered in a previous video. This is from a principal engineer at Google, by the way. She writes, "I'm not joking, and this isn't funny. We have been trying to build distributed agent orchestrators at Google since last year. There are various options. Not everyone is aligned. I gave Claude Code a description of the problem. It generated what we built last year in an hour." So again, I don't know what it is about Claude Code, but it feels like something new is emerging. Vibe coding is probably not the best term to use to describe the future of software engineering, but I have a good feeling the actual act of typing in the code will not be part of the job description for much longer. Again, not a developer though, so take that as you will. Now finally, in case you are a Claude Max subscriber and one of the lucky few who actually have early access to this research preview, please make sure to be cautious when using it. Prompt injections are a real risk that are becoming more and more prevalent, and Anthropic themselves admits that preventing these attacks are still an active area of development. Prompt injections, for those who don't know, are basically hidden prompts that only your agent might pick up, like white ink on a white page that is invisible to the eye but not to the agent. And they can make the agent do a whole host of things, from ignoring its original prompts, to deleting files, to stealing information, and more. So please be aware of that if you are going to use this product, and any other autonomous agent for that matter. Other than that though, this is pretty much everything you need to know about Cowork as it exists right now. And honestly, it's kind of insane what Anthropic is cooking up, not just for coding, but for everyday work. This feels like one of those quiet releases, or maybe not so quiet, that ends up mattering way more than it looks at first. But anyway, if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know what you think about Cowork in the comments. And as always, I'll be catching you guys in the next one.